said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you. No, no, no. She said it's all for you. I did it all for you. Baby, it's all for you.
Welcome back to Faith, Family, and Finances. If you're new here, my name is Takara. If you're not new here, thank you for, continue to follow me on my bankruptcy journey as I am learning how to rebuild at the age of 40. I know it's never too late, but I wish I would have did this 10 years earlier. But let's jump into the video. I wanted to talk about my mindset before I filed for bankruptcy, and now how after going through this whole transition with bankruptcy, how my mindset is kind of now moving forward. So before I filed for bankruptcy, when it comes to money, being that I always worked a lot of overtime, I basically always hustle, like most of us, hustling, working 1-2 jobs or whatever, just to have more than enough. Okay, so when I felt like that, I never really prepared for anything, like for trips or whatever. Yeah, I make the plan, book the room ahead or whatever. But I also didn't heed the voice of God. Even though we make our plans, God could always change our plans. But I was one that if I feel like my plan is about to be blocked, and it could have been God blocking my plan, I'm going to find a way to still do it. It don't matter if I have to put a bill on hold. It don't matter if I have to go get a loan just to do a thing. I did it. And I always ended up, after I do the plan that I already said I was going to do, like that could be, going out of town or doing this or doing that, I always end up in a financial bind afterwards. Always. So this, with me, has been going on year after year after year. Always getting loans. You do good for a while, and then, excuse me, you do good for a while with paying the loans back, and then something else happened, and then you got to put that loan on the back burner, and then you can't even pay that loan back. It's just robbing Peter to pay Paul constantly. This has been going on for years, and I know a lot of people in the same boat. You do the same thing, but you have to understand, you got to have a mindset change when it comes to your money. Okay, let me read something to you guys. And I always like to go back to the Bible. But it says, Luke 16:10, whoever could be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. So God increases what he sees you manage well. So for me, God spoke to me and told me, I don't trust you with the things that I'm giving you now. I don't trust you, so I'm not gonna increase you until you can be trusted. And I'm talking about myself only. This is what he told me, and he gave me a little simple task to do by paying this thing that costs $25 a month, like a charity. I did good. I did it for months and months and months. And people like $25 ain't nothing. Yeah, $25 is not nothing, but when you're spending your money unnecessarily and then you don't have those $25, God gave you a little task to do and you didn't even do it. So after that, when I was coming up to the age 40, and God really just put me in a space where, Takara, you need to do something different. You can't keep doing the same thing and expecting the same results. So you got to do something different. So, I started looking into bankruptcy, and I even reached out to a lawyer At first they act like they could help me, and then all of a sudden they wanted, because I am married, and they wanted his income and all this and all that. They told us, oh, well, you make too much, you got to file a chapter 13. And I'm like, what he have to do with my debt, you know? So at first I got discouraged, but then I like, you know what? I'm going to try to do this on my own with God help. And that's when I went through Upsolve. I used their services. By the way, if anybody want to try Upsolve, it's a very good tool. I'm not getting paid for this video, but you know, I don't gatekeep stuff. I use Upsolve. It went through good. I filed my paperwork, and it was up from there. So now, after me filing bankruptcy, I move I'm very, very cautious. I move carefully now when it comes to money. Even though it's still a little struggle or whatever, being that my hours are, I don't get overtime anymore at work or whatever, but I do, you know, do side hustles or whatever, like Uber Eats or whatever, to make additional money or whatever, and ship. I do those on the weekend and sometime in the evening time. But for example, my birthday is coming up this weekend, and I really wanted to go to Texas because I really feel like God is calling me to move to another state. But, and I planned ahead like I always do, and as time was winding down, this was coming up, that was coming up, where I had to take money and use it for this, or I had to get a battery for my car, or you know, school time coming up with the kids. I got to start that with getting the kids clothes and hairdos and all this. So he blocked it. He blocked my plans because I wanted to go to Texas for my birthday. He blocked it, and I wasn't worried about it. I was impressed. Because in the beginning I said, Lord, I want to go to Texas. If it's in your will, you're going to let it go easy for me. Everything's going to align up. But it wasn't his plan. He didn't want me to go to Texas right now. Not to say he don't want me to go there. Maybe he wants me to explore another state. So that's how my mindset has switched. Before bankruptcy, I would override. If God blocked something, I'll keep overriding it just to do it. Now he showed me that he don't want me going to Texas right now at this moment. I'm okay with that because I already knew what happened before. I used to get myself in a financial bind all the time. After I come back from the trip, that's when everything go on where you need money, but you didn't spend all your money on the trip. Now you got to wait to get paid and all this, and then you have to do personal loans, payday advances. God don't want us to be stuck in that constant cycle, because now we're relying on the resource instead of the source, which God is the source. So I say all this to say, when God delivered you from your financial debt, don't go back to it. Heed the voice of God. Take your plans before him and let him guide you on your next move. And that's the problem. We're so used to doing everything on our own, we don't take anything to God. So I just wanted to come on here as an encouragement. If you're tired of going through a financial struggle each year, think about filing for bankruptcy to have a second chance. And it took me a while to switch my mindset, but I thank God that I was able to take a step back, listen to his voice, get in the word, and now my mindset is different on how I need to move going forward. If this encouraged you today, drop a comment below and tell me how God switched your mindset when it comes to being financially free. Like how your mindset is. Are you still going through the struggle, or are you more careful now going forward? Because you have to steward your money. The money that you have to steward it well before God will increase you. So I thank God that I didn't get a large amount of money or whatever with that old mindset. Because if I would have got a large amount of money with that old mindset, I wouldn't have any money. But now, if God were to bless me today, my mindset is so different. I'll probably be actually scared to even spend the money, because I want to know from Him my next move, what I need to do. Because I don't want to be out of alignment with His will for my life. So I thank you guys for taking the time to listen to my video. Today is Thankful Thursday. I will be dropping weekly videos on my journey, my bankruptcy journey, my life, faith. I'm putting it all out there. You know, I'm an open book. If you have any questions, you can ask me. But I thank you guys and until next week video. You guys stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next video.